There are 6 movies in the Scream franchise, and that means there are a lot of kills. I've done my research. I've whittled it down to the 10 best kills in the franchise. So stick around and let's do this. So before we break down the 10 best kills in the Scream franchise, chosen by yours truly, I did just want to say that this is a members' choice video. So my members, my channel members, thank you very much. They voted on, I gave them 4 different choices. They're going to get a choice each month for a video, and this was what won out for the month of September. So if you want to support the channel in that way and have some say in videos that I do, please consider becoming a channel member. If not, just by watching this video, just by liking, interacting, even shit talking, you're supporting the channel, and I appreciate you. All right, enough bullshit. Let's talk some Ghostface, guys. I'm gonna rank the Scream kills from number 10 all the way down to number 1. These, for me, are just Ghostface kills, so I'm not including, Billy Loomis, the death of Billy Loomis. I'm not including the TV falling on Stu Macher, all that shit. It's just gonna be kills by Ghostface, or through Ghostface, in Ghostface's hands, etc. However you want to word it. These are Ghostface kills. So let's start out right at number 10. Guys, it goes without saying though, this is my opinion. You're not going to agree with it all. That's okay. That's cool. That's what these videos are for. But you do have the opportunity to tell me your opinions down below. I love to hear your guys' thoughts. Give me your top Ghostface kill, your top 10 if you want, top 3, whatever. Tell me what is your favorite. For me, number 10, Tatum Riley. Now, this is probably, this is, in my opinion, the second most ridiculous kill in the franchise. The first one, which is not on this list, is the house blowing up in Scream 3. That was fucking ridiculous. But anyway, the fact that the garage door here would take her up and snap her neck is ridiculous, right? On a surface level, it doesn't make sense. But the whole lead up and the whole scene and the fact that it's Tatum and what Tatum means to the franchise is very important, and it's very well done. This is where the line Ghostface is first said. Please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel. That's said, during her kill scene. You got the beer throwing. You got some tension. I like that the whole house is filled with all these people, and she's just in the garage dying while everyone else is partying. Great scene, great setup. Even though it's a little bit over the top, like I said, with the garage door, I like it, and it's got to make my top 10. So Tatum is number 10. Coming in at number 9. I gotta have Sarah Michelle Gellar in here, right? This is Cece Cooper from Scream 2. Kind of a random kill. Scream 2 came out right when Buffy was starting, so, as you've rewatched this movie, you see Buffy, but when this came out, not a lot of people saw her as Buffy. Great scene here. Like I said, I'm a big Sarah Michelle Gellar fan, and she's great in this scene playing Cece Cooper. You got a nice chase through the sorority house, some cat and mouse game on the phone, as, it's Scream after all, right? And then you got, not only does she get stabbed, she gets tossed off the balcony, and you got that great image and the great scene of her, kind of kicking in the air as she falls to her death. So Cece Cooper is number 9. Coming in at number 8, it's going to be a kill from the most recent movie, Scream 6. Now, hear me out on this. Hear me out. It's going to be the Jason, I believe his name is. The guy from the beginning. An actual, real-life Ghostface. Now, this is kind of cheating from what I said earlier. I said I'm not going to include Ghostface deaths, right? No, I can't talk today, apparently. I'm not going to include that, I said, right? Well, this one is a little bit different, because he's not technically the Ghostface or one of the Ghostfaces in this movie, in the final act. So call it an asterisk if you want, but I'm including him here. And this, once again, is for the cat and mouse game of this. It opens with him killing Samara Weaving, right? Goes back home, his partner, boyfriend, whatever, roommate, who knows, other Ghostface is calling him on the phone, and you get the cat and mouse game of hot and cold, right? You're getting hot, you're getting cold. He opens the fridge, and what does he find? The person he thought he was talking to, kind of, on the phone, his head. Just like Mrs. Voorhees, right? in Friday 2. And then you get the great line, "Who gives a fuck about movies?" / the title card. I like that scene. I thought it was really well done. However you feel about Scream 6, you feel about Scream 6, but for me, I really like this death. Guess what? For number 7, we are sticking with Scream 6. We're going with Annika. This is a brutal, brutal death here that she gets. Not only does she get, essentially gutted from sternum to stomach, or stomach to sternum, I can't remember. Pretty ridiculous that she's still moving after that, because just that scene of the knife just sliding down her fucking stomach is just brutal. But then she's got to cross this ladder. And she's on the ladder, and Ghostface starts shaking the ladder, right? And then boom, she falls, fucking snaps her neck on the dumpster below. Badass scene. Once again, however you feel about Scream 6, this was brutal. And I really enjoyed this scene as a whole, from apartment to apartment on the ladder. Pretty cool stuff there. And this was brutal. So Annika is number 7. Break out your pitchforks for number 6, people, because this is going to be Randy, everyone's favorite character, right? At least most people's in the original 2 movies, right? Jamie Kennedy, in my opinion, is not the greatest actor. That's okay. We still love Randy, right? His death scene is pretty crazy, because they did something that they really haven't had, up until Dewey, haven't really had the balls to do, and that is kill off one of the main characters. And to do it in the middle of the movie, no less, is pretty awesome. When they killed Randy, it was like, holy shit, all bets are off now. They just kill him, a beloved character, in the middle of the movie. And you get the classic scene of him all bloodied, after he gets pulled into the news van and the guys with the boom boxes walking by, and then Gail's scream, right? Pretty crazy. Now, do I think Mrs. Loomis had the power to do that? No, she did not. However, taking that out of the equation, I love that they had the balls to kill off Randy. We all want Randy back, right? We all do. Randy's awesome. But this is a horror movie, right? People are going to die. And I wish this franchise remembered that. So I'm giving them props for killing Randy, and I'm giving them props for doing it in the middle of a movie, not at the climax. I just think that's kind of cool. And you don't see it very often. All right, number 5 here. My number 5 is a brutal one. Sticking with Scream 2. This is going to be the cop that's driving Sydney and Hallie away. And loses control of the car. Ghostface is on the hood, and then this thing of rebar just goes right through his head. Look at this fucking image here. Look at this. Brutal. Especially for a franchise like Scream, where most of the kills are, just stab. I mean, now that I did that didn't really look like stab. But I digress. Where I'm going with that is, it's mostly just like stabbing, right? Stabbing. Sometimes pretty run of the mill, right? Then you get a scene like this, and it's like, holy fuck, that is badass. That is brutal. So yeah, the cop from Scream 2, love that death scene, and it gets points for creativity for a franchise that really isn't always that creative with its kill scenes. It's a creative franchise, just not with the kills. All right, let's jump into number 4. We got Jada Pinkett Smith from the opening of Scream 2. This is an interesting scene, and the farther we get along in society, we're looking at, 25 years since this came out, right? 26 years now. The farther we get into society, the more realistic shit like this is. It's sad but true, and that makes it scary. Just the whole build up, Omar Raps, her boyfriend goes and dies, Ghostface comes back sitting next to her, and she's being kind of annoying during this whole process, even though we're watching Stab 1, even though what she's saying is true, but then she just gets stabbed, and you got the whole crowd of people, in Ghostface masks cheering, thinking it's some publicity stunt or something like that, and she just lets out a guttural scream. It's terrifying shit right there. Really cool scene, and it's my number 4 for all those reasons. All right, top 3 people. Like I said, tell me in the comments your top Ghostface kill. Do you agree with me on my number 1? tell me in the comments, guys. Okay, I have a feeling a lot of us are gonna have the same number one. So tell me your top three if you wanna be a little creative there. All right, my number three, Kenny the cameraman from Scream 1996. All right, hear me out on this, because this is one that I don't feel like it's gonna be on a lot of people's list. This has everything to do with the camera delay and whatever 15-second, right, whatever delay it is. Gail obviously puts the hidden camera in Stu's house in the party, and they're watching and they realize everything's got a 15-second delay. Gail comes back, and we realize it takes as long as it takes for Gail to get from the house to the van. That's the camera delay. Perfect plot setup for later in the movie when Kenny hears a scream, looks at the camera, sees Ghostface above Randy, and then sees Ghostface start out the door, and then he goes outside and the door's wide open, and it's like the delay, and then before you know it, Ghostface pops up, slits his fucking throat. That whole scene is excellent. I love how they set it up earlier and they paid it off with a bang, or with a slash, I should say. Awesome scene. So I think it's an underrated kill, and it's high enough for me that it's in my top three. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be in a lot of people's top threes, but for me, I just love the whole setup. All right, my top two kills in the Scream franchise are coming next, and they are both brutal as fuck. We're going to start with, in my opinion, the most brutal one. Olivia from Scream 4. Take a second to look at this picture. Her fucking intestines are laid out. Blood everywhere. And this scene is not there just for that. It's not my number two just for that. Once again, it's the setup, right? You got Ghostface calling Kirby and Jill, talking, says I'm in the closet, right? Kirby opens up the closet. You're not there. I didn't say your closet. And then they're like, oh shit. And it cuts to Olivia. He's in that closet right across the street. Oh, that's fucking excellent. So good. And then, like I said, the kill is just brutal as fuck. Stabs the fuck out of her, throws her into the window where they see her body against the window, and then Sydney comes and sees this scene. Just fucking brutal. Olivia from Scream 4 is my number two. You guys know my number one. Casey Becker, right? Drew Barrymore's kill. You can make a case that Scream as a franchise peaked with this opening scene right here, and a pretty compelling case at that. So, once again, not to beat a dead horse here, but it's the whole setup, right? We didn't expect Drew Barrymore to die. We just didn't. She's not the first death of the franchise. That would go to her boyfriend, who was killed in this scene. Once again, fucking gutted, right? Intestines spilling out. But this whole scene, from the phone calls to the trivia, to her just screaming, "Leave me alone," to the popcorn going off, to the first image we get of the Ghostface mask, to her running outside and the slow motion stabbing in the heart, to being on the phone and her parents coming home, her screaming out to them, but she can't. And her parents picking up the phone and hearing her as her body's being dragged. And then this image right here, where she's just hanging from the fucking tree. Just brutal. Not only is this the best kill in the Scream franchise, it's one of the best kills in horror, period. So, those are my favorite kills in the Scream franchise, done by Ghostface. Like I said, tell me yours down below. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.